I should have live streamed the presents, but I didn't because I didn't think we'd get anything good. And then, oh my god, Pokemon Z. What the heck? After like 10 years, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 10-year anniversary, because I think we discussed how they re-trademarked Pokemon X and Y a couple years ago, like earlier this year.
Yeah, they did do that. It's hard to process because it's not what I was expecting. Honestly, my mind has just been on the Nova train for a little bit. But this is, I prefer this. This is better than black and white remakes right now.
It's crazy. I didn't see this coming at all. Just like you said, I thought this was going to just be black and white remakes because that's what everyone's been talking about. What I'm excited about is now they're leaning into the format that was working for them.
Yeah, like this is kind of like a perfect mixture of what fans have wanted for a long time. We're getting Megas back, we're getting open world in a different way, not just we're going to lean in on nature. We're getting an actual game that got canceled that a lot of people were upset about not existing. They're really just, this is the best possible thing Pokemon Company could have done.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think what's super good about it is no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
We're all kind of on the back foot, like, okay, we're just waiting for Ilka to get the black and white remakes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of people are on the back foot, just like, all right, this presents, they're going to talk about Pokemon Sleep, give us 8 new costumes for Unite.
Yeah.
I didn't expect anything from this. I thought it was just going to be, like you said, like a really pretty opening, like that iconic opening for black and white, while you're running across the bridge, like all remastered, and then it's going to cut to Ilka.
Yeah.
As the creators.
Yeah.
But for sure, I'm excited. I have a lot of like questions, and I'm more excited for this than Legends Arceus.
Me too, because Legends Arceus was cool.
For sure.
Legends Arceus was a cool idea. I think that's probably the game I've enjoyed most on Switch. And I know that you're not particularly... Yeah, I Sword and Shield wasn't... I don't know, didn't work for me. Scarlet Violet is okay, but after playing Legends, what I realized about Scarlet Violet is like Legends was full of these like side quests. You had like 120 side quests by the time that free DLC they put out was. In Paldea, the only thing you do out in Paldea is battle trainers that won't fight you unless you trigger it, and then catch Pokemon. But there was no reason to like actually explore after you completed your dex, because there's nothing left out there. You've picked up your items, you've picked up the Pokedex data, and you can't rematch those trainers. Legends was full of the side quests though, so like I'm hyped up for that, because with this it's going to be a full city open world game with that, and that's just fantastic.
Yeah, that's my question. Do you think that this is going to be all past?
All what?
Like in the same thing that Hisui was? Do you think this is going to be past Kalos? Or do you think this is going to be... Like, that's what I'm confused about right now. Like, looking at it, like, at least with the Hisui region, it made sense to me of, oh, we're in a past time. But so far, from the trailer, it's this whole futuristic Lumiose, and then it pulls back into a very, like, more rough style drawing, more cartographer style. So I just don't know if it's going to be in the same sense of Hisui, or it's this older place.
I think that they, like, Legends is about experimenting rather than always, like, going further back and revealing lore. I think that they are just trying a completely different genre, and they're going to go the open world route, fully city. What I'm thinking is this is probably present day Pokemon. I don't think it's really future, but it's definitely taking place after XY. But we kind of have a weird Pokemon timeline right now where you can measure what a newer game is and what older game is in the timeline. And right now we're kind of pretty futuristic already, a little bit in modern Pokemon. You can measure it by if everybody has a Rotom Pokedex or something. You could do that kind of thing. Honestly, I just feel like this is going to be, even though it's a Legends game, so the gameplay is different, I think this is going to be X and Y 2, really. Maybe
this will be all about the war. What I'm looking for this game is I want it to be very history-based off of the Kalos region, where the real form of Mega Evolution the first discovery of it. That's what I'm interested in. Like, that's why I think you should go to Kalos for a Legends game. Looking at Unova and Johto, say all these other games that we kind of speculated that could have been the next Legends game, Kalos is the one that has the most opportunity for an interesting storyline.
Which, yeah, and it never crossed anybody's minds at the time, because it just felt like, okay, yeah, Kalos and Alola are in this like limbo where we have to get through Black and White before anything can ever be done with them ever again, so Megas felt far off to fans.
I think this is a fair jump, though. Like, Alola got their second game, X and Y only got one. Like,
I know.
I feel like as a Pokemon fan, as I want my Gen 5 remakes, I'm completely content with this Z-A game.
This is a full-on sequel.
I'm excited.
As for the timeline thing, I think that's part of the thing, is it's not like we're just going to be thrown into a futuristic Lumiose. We are going to be changing current Lumiose that we know into futuristic Lumiose. That's our job. We're going to be making it that. I don't want to say Tycoon, but kind of think that as far as open world, we're going to actually develop the city, pushing it into the next era, so it will feel less knee-jerky, like, oh, now we're just in the future now. You know, it's more like, okay, we're going to start at Kalos now and build it from there. I do think that there's going to be a lot of lore and stuff, but I don't think we're going to be in the past at all. I know what you were saying about like the sketches, right? Like it goes back and forth. The other thing is, it's definitely XY sequel, but it's going to have a heavy influence on the past, because did you see the logo for Z-A?
I did.
The A is the ultimate weapon, but the
let me pull it up real quick. I never even noticed that. That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. The development team that is going to be making Kalos modern, the logo and symbol for them kind of looks like the ultimate weapon as well.
I was just going to ask, do you think the A stands for AZ, or do you think it stands for a new legend we're going to get?
I don't know. Because it could just be standing for the ultimate weapon in general. It's so open right now, man.
I think this is going to be more in the past than you think it is. I think it's going to be earlier. I don't know. I'm honestly so confused. The trailer is super futuristic.
I think
so I'm just
that's
like
the idea, because the trailer's like a blueprint, right? Like a. I think it's going to be the Kalos we know, the Lumiose that we know, and then we're going to change it into the future by modernizing the city and making it better for Pokemon to be there. And again, that was the original concept with Lumiose. You could see it, like, even back when they announced Lumiose City, they had concept art, key art, where it was just a perfect blend of people and Pokemon, and the actual game did not reflect it, but that was technological at the time. The game was
that was their limit.
The city was still like a big step for them, though. Lumiose City was like by far the most ambitious city they did, and it really took advantage of the 3D. They just couldn't really breathe that same life into it, but now they really can. So I think this is the perfect move. It's like they finally listened to fans about everything that they've been wanting for a few years. They want the Megas back. They wanted closure on Z. They didn't like the current direction that mainline Pokemon games are going. This is like the best thing they could have done.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. I'm interested. They have caught my attention.
And like,
do you want to speculate a bit? Because I'm who the hell are going to be the starters for this game?
I was going to say, I don't even know if that is going to be a Legends staple, because again, I think that
really,
yeah, because Legends so far, like a lot of people again were like, oh yeah, Legends is in the past, like Legends Arceus. That was kind of the feel that they got the side series title of Legends, right? Now that we're kind of at least in the present day. Maybe not super futuristic, but present day in the Pokemon world. We aren't even going to be trying to complete a Pokedex. The actual main goal of the game, it says, is to redevelop Lumiose. So I don't think it's about the past. I think it's about just completely genre bending every single time. That being said, I don't know, because Kalos already had some cool stuff with starters. We got our Chespin, Fennekin, Froakie, and then about an hour later into the game, we get a choice of Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. So,
who all three have Mega Evolutions that you later get.
Yeah. So if they give us a new set of starters that are just kind of like what Legends did, Cyndaquil, Rowlet, Oshawott type thing, I could totally see them being given to us by Sycamore the same way the Kanto starters were, and he says we think they can Mega Evolve, raise them for us, and we'll see.
Do you think the Kalos starters will get Megas?
I want them to. I think that makes the Ash Greninja situation make sense. What they've done in recent years, where it's like, okay, we're retconning it out. The form doesn't exist anymore. We're changing how Battle Bond works as a mechanic. It makes it made no sense to do that in Scarlet Violet, but if they are, when they put Ash Greninja in the game and Zygarde in Sun and Moon, they probably were thinking that they were never going to get another chance to do Z, so they're just going to implement what they can implement from their ideas and leave it. Now that they are going to do it, they're like, okay, well, we're going to have to repave a little bit. So that could be why Ash Greninja got retconned out, is because a Mega Greninja is going to come in.
I like the idea of a callback of having 3 new starter pairs. Like, just 3 starters that we previously had, just like how we got in Hisui. But instead of getting the Kanto starters at the beginning, we get the Kalos starters later in the game. That'd be a cool callback. And then that's where you get their Megas. I actually love that idea. I hope that is, because that actually be super cool. What starters have not been picked yet? So we have a Gen 5, a Gen 7, and a Gen 2 starter.
Yeah,
so you could drop a Gen...
It's not going to happen. Gen 1, I'm going to just say...
Oh, yeah, I know.
They might do Charizard Z. I was
gonna talk about that.
Charizard's ass so hard that I don't have a doubt in my mind that they won't do Charizard Z. I know it's been a joke for 10 years that, oh, when Z comes out, we'll have Z Megas like Z Mewtwo and Z... But there's no way they're not. There's no way. They love Charizard way too much not to give it a thing like that. So I think Kanto is off the table for that.
I think it's going to be Gen 4, then Sword and Shield, which is Gen 8, correct?
Yeah.
So Gen 4, Gen 8, and then you kind of have your pick. You could choose Gen 3, or you could go Gen 5 again.
It really, yeah.
You can double dip, but I think those 2 for sure. Like, I could see Score Bunny getting in. Like, it'd be like Score Bunny.
All I want, though.
Piplup, and...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was going to say, all I want, just make... If they do the Legends starter thing, just make one of them Gen 4, because I can't believe that Sinnoh got 2 remakes, technically, and both times Empoleon, Torterra, and Infernape were just ignored. Like, that drives me nuts, dude. Give one of them something, please. Because that.
Yeah, you're right, because the Gen 3 starters got Megas. Gen 2 hasn't gotten anything. Gen 1 has gotten Megas.
Gen 2 at least got Hisui Typhlosion.
Yeah, they got Typhlosion. Yeah, you're right. Gen 4 has not gotten any.
Gen 4 has been shafted so bad. They got it. I want something Sinnoh for one of those starters.
For sure. That'd be cool.
The awesome one, honestly. I'd like that.
Oh, Piplup just makes so much sense. Like, Torterra and Infernape have so much, like, love for them. That's why I kind of like the Hisui starters, is you had 3, like, consistent likes, but they're not the top. Like, I think Cyndaquil is debatably the top, and then Rowlet, I think Litten is above Rowlet. And just, so you're kind of grabbing these middle-of-the-pack starters, and then giving them more personality, bringing them more into the forefront. And I think Piplup's that for Gen 4.
Yeah. Honestly, all of the starters that gen were just solid. Like
that's just power gen.
Oh, yeah. I know they said there are going to be Megas, so new Megas is a pretty much the direction they go for this, right? Do you think that they're gonna do regional forms?
No, it depends. If they do go into the past, yes. I don't think we're gonna get a regional form in a future game.
I don't even want them to do new evolutions. They should just pour everything they did to Legends, Arceus, like where we add new evolutions and new regional forms and new legendary forms or whatever. Just pour everything into Megas, please. I want everything to go to the Mega Evolutions. Get new ones.
I kind of want it split. I want it split down the middle, just because.
It's been 10 years. I want my Mega.
I know, but there's some Pokemon that still need another form to them.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if Kalos is the
We're still waiting for the Dunsparce, dude.
Just get Mega Dunsparce now. Bro. They said that they wanted to give older Pokemon Megas to breathe new life into them. Pretty much all of Unova, all of Kalos itself, and a pretty good chunk of Alola would be old enough to be pretty open for Megas. So
Kalos and Unova need Megas. I don't really think Alola does yet.
The only reason I brought up Alola, like they could, is because Rowlet got something of its own. Like, Rowlet already got something of its own, and it was still fairly new at that time. It was like, what? Like, 5 years old? 5-year-old starter? It wasn't old at all.
But Incineroars and Smash Bros, they're fine. What's your ideal Mega? If you could pick one Mega, what would it be? One Pokemon to get a Mega.
I have a top 10 Megas for this game coming out, and I have all the ideas I want, but I don't have an order because they're oh man, it's so hard to pick an order. But
what's the first one that pops in your head? Like,
Mega
what's
Dragonite needed to happen?
Yeah, we need that Dragonite. Dragonite deserves one for sure.
I think that's just the one that just comes to the top of my head because I've just been thinking about that passively for a few years. What about you? What are Megas you want to see brand new?
Dude, it's just Unova stuff.
Really?
I think Crocodile would get a cool. Crocodile, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I think Crocodile would get a really cool Mega. I think that's a good pick. Excadrill makes too much sense to me.
Yeah, actually.
Excadrill is basically like the face of Unova at this point. Same with Emolga. Like, I think those are two Pokemon that either Emolga needs an evolution or a Mega. That'd be fun.
I think Emolga would be really cool. I just want them to lean in on Megas because we're probably not going to see Megas again until an actual XY remake now.
Oh, yeah.
So I just kind of want them to just force feed it to us right now because it's going to be the last of it for the next 10 years. So I'm a little biased with it.
My final one, I want a Mega. And if one of them is going to get it, I hope it's Vanillux because I think that would be hilarious. I would love so much for Vanillux to get a Mega over
your Trubbish love.
No, I like Trubbish. I hate Garbodor. Garbodor's stupid. Vanillux is stupid. I like Trubbish. Trubbish is cute. He's the little guy. But I think Vanillux or Amoonguss would be so funny. Amoonguss would be so freaking funny. Little side note, I'm looking through the Black and White Pokedex. Keep this in. Dude, Black and White has such good Pokemon. We talk about this, but I'm like going down the list. I'm like, damn, Electros needs one. Beheeyum needs one.
There's the one that I just wanted it for some reason in Kalos was just Mega Helioptile. That just feels like
cool.
That could be something nice.
And that is a Kalos Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? Like a Pokemon that like feels like it is that region.
Yeah, the art style is like iconic for that. You have things like Fletchling, you have Heliolisk, Helioptile, Gudra. Is there any?
Here's a real question.
Are there any Megas that already exist that you're just dying to get your hands on again?
I'd love to get Mega Sableye and Mega Mawile back.
Yeah.
I thought those two were so freaking cool, dude.
Gabe can have
like those
tails again.
Never mind. I only want Mega Sceptile now.
He could have his Twin Tails Mawile back. Do you think that Legends in it of itself is a no Wi-Fi game with multiplayer mostly, or is that just kind of what Legends Arceus had?
I think it's gonna be a single player experience.
I think the whole experience is gonna be single player, but they did move towards Union Circle more in Scarlet Violet, so it's possible. But I was like just Wi-Fi battles, because in Legends Arceus we couldn't do it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because like Legends Arceus you couldn't do it because the battle system just was not intended for that. You could trade with other players, but dude, the battle system, you couldn't do single strike and rapid strike in a 2-player battle and make that work. I don't think that's gonna be a mechanic here. I think that's probably something that was a ancient Hisui battle tactics.
I hope so. I pray to God so.
Or do you think that multiplayer connection is like not something that Legends does as a Legends series?
I don't think it's gonna be multi. I don't know. I don't get introducing Megas back.
And not having.
If they lean heavily into Megas and then not also leaning into Wi-Fi battling, it makes no sense to me personally. It depends if they lean into Megas. If they lean into making new Megas, I think they should. If this game is all built off of building out Kalos and learning more about Kalos, I'm down for that. But I just don't personally play Pokemon for a single player experience.
Yeah, that was the one thing with Legends Arceus. Like, the game was really good quality, but like by the end, I'm like, I really want to use the new Hisuian Pokemon that they've given to us. And that was the other reason I was bringing it up, is because Megas are likely not going to be in whatever is next. So if they make 20 more new Megas and don't have Wi-Fi battles in the game, you physically have no chance of using them until they put them in a mainline again.
So, there's no point to them.
Yeah, because, well, there would be a point, but it just hurts more, because it's like, okay, I gotta wait till they put them in again. And even then, a certain one might not be in a certain Pokedex or whatever the hell. But yeah, with Legends Arceus, it's like, okay, I'm gonna wait for Scarlet Violet so I could use Pokemon Home to transfer these over and use them. Hisuian Zoroark, that kind of thing. Cool. Here it's like, you gotta have a game with the mechanic.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. If they're actually waiting for 2025 for this game and they don't announce another one, it has to be Wi-Fi based, just to keep either the competitive scene alive or keep the smaller scene alive, because there's no way they can just play off of Scarlet and Violet more.
Yeah,
you're already done with both your DLCs. There's no more added content you're gonna bring to it. I hope this game leans into the nostalgia, because that's what they did not do with the last two remakes. With BDSP and with Arceus, they did not lean into that at all. And that's why I hated BSP, and I didn't love Arceus. I thought it was cool, and I thought it was fun, but it just wasn't my game.
BDSP wasn't even a remake, dude. That game was just more like
a
remaster, like a graphical. Like, hey, we're just gonna make this, it's not a remake, we're just gonna make the graphics not pixel and make them 3D. That was it. It was just...
I kind of like it.
For one rip.
But here's the problem. BDSP is so ugly. BDSP is so much uglier than any Pokemon game.
Like, to redeem it, the only cool thing it did was overhaul the underground,
and who gives a shit?
Because you can't do anything down there until you really get the national decks unlocked. There's a few Pokemon, but not a ton, so... Yeah.
And trust me, if you get to the point where you beat BDSP, you don't want to keep playing BDSP.
Yeah.
None of these games feel like when I was a kid.
They don't.
Like, I know that's weird to say, because obviously I'm older. Obviously, I played Pikmin 4. Dude, it was like I was playing Pikmin 1 for the first time again.
Yeah.
But now I'm 20 years old. But it feels the same. I don't get that with Pokemon anymore. I played through Scarlet Violet. I beat it. I finished the Pokedex, got the shiny charm, shiny hunted a bit, and I'm like, okay, cool.
I'm done.
All done.
Yep.
Yeah. But like, dude,
I always was seeing it as like a quality thing too, because they don't have features anymore. They put everything into the map, but then there's nothing to do in the map. So, yeah, it's just there's not that heart in there anymore. They need someone with better attitude.
And I miss, like, the houses. Like, I forget that, so I was watching a TikTok the other day, and it was about how if you leave a Pokemon in, so someone asked for a Pokemon because they're lonely.
Yeah, this is X and Y.
This is X and Y? It is? Okay. And I saw it, and I never knew this existed. This is a small thing that exists. That's what makes good games, man.
I know.
Like, for me personally, my X and Y copy, my original, I probably had 300 hours on that game.
I maxed my...
Probably around that. You maxed yours?
Within a year, yeah.
And dude, I had no clue that existed. But I saw a random TikTok, and I'm like, dude, that is so cute. You leave a person a Pokemon, you come back later, and it's just the Pokeball giving back because the guy passed away, but the Pokemon has max friendship. Dude.
Yeah.
When has a Pokemon game done that since then?
It was the they did it was like Black White 2, XY, Oraz, and then
seriously,
after that, nothing.
I miss that. Build your world. That's why people think of these regions, think of the Hoenns, think of the Universe, think of all these older regions, because there's so much personality in them.
I know.
But now these newer regions, Sword and Shield, maybe it's because I'm older, but dude, I try to go into these houses. I want to find that experience again. But it's just doors that it's a textured door. Like it's not interactable in all these newer games.
I know.
I want them to lean into. I know we're getting off topic. We're just talking about Pokemon now.
Not really, because it's like if there is no Kalos other than Lumiose City, they have an opportunity to if Lumiose is the whole game, there's no excuse for any of those textured doors. Yeah, I hope there are no texture doors. I hope every single building and every single floor is explorable.
Yeah, if your game's gonna have one city and one place you interact, every place needs to be this needs to be a JRPG, dude.
Yes.
Every single person should have a side mission. Every single thing is talkable. Everything is interactable. I want this to feel like a Persona game where I'm just overwhelmed, you know?
Yeah, like that's exactly kind of what I was thinking. Is like just have that world building and then just have it be the nostalgia of X and Y and the feel sequel that we never got. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Oh man.
Yeah.
And you could totally fill out the map for that. You could have 40 side quests to get different megastones. They better do the Paris Catacombs if this is the only map.
Seriously, there has to be more to it.
Only map. If it's the only Lumiose city, let's have an underground a little bit because man, that's cool.